Introduce myself. I'm Kate Bronner. I'm the new engagement executive for Utah, Colorado, Wyoming, Nevada, New Mexico, and Arizona here with WUSADA. And I'm happy to introduce Thomas Wee here. He'll be presenting, as well as Miss Tu, Mr. Sam, Mr. Anderson, and Miss Stange. So I'm excited for everyone to join. Some housekeeping here. There will be a recorded video. So if you are uncomfortable being on video, you can take your video off. And if you can remain muted during the session, that would also help the quality of the recording. And lastly, we'll do all questions at the end. So as questions come up and you're inspired, you can put them in the chat, but we'll wait to answer them until the very end. And so you can take it away, Thomas.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for coming in here today. We're very excited. We have two very experienced FAS officers, one from Thailand, Kelly over there. Hi, Kelly, just wave. So she's in charge of the whole Thailand's FAS office, and she'll be presenting later to us. But before that, we have Andrew over in Vietnam. He's going to present to us from Vietnam, from Ho Chi Minh. He's going to present to us about the overview for Vietnam itself. So we have two sessions. We have one on the presentation, and then we're going to have a Q&A session where, shippers or exporters, like Benson, Michelle, all of you can just ask questions to us. And we have on hand two very experienced importer. One is Miss Tu over there. Yeah, she's actually from an NTP Co over in Vietnam. She give you an idea of how it's like as an importer, working with exporters as well. And we have one other person, Gomi one, Mr. Sam. He's actually from. I got somebody is a bit noisy. Okay, never mind. So Sam is going to be joining us as well shortly. He's more of a food service importer over in Thailand itself. So without much further ado, if you can, everybody just mute your if you're not presenting, just mute it. And I'm controlling the slides for both Andrew and also Kelly. So if I'm not doing my job, just give me a wait and then I'll do it. We will start off with Andrew. If you can, Andrew will start off first and then we'll have Kelly. Am I correct? Yeah. Yes, Andrew. Okay. All right.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. I'm Andrew Anderson Sprecher. I'm our Senior Agricultural Attaché for FAS in Ho Chi Minh City. I manage our office here overseeing the southern half of Vietnam as well as Cambodia. My past posts have been throughout Asia, including Beijing, Korea, and Taiwan. And I'm originally from a WUSADA state, Wyoming. So one of the few Wyomingites. Happy to talk to you about Vietnam. It's a very promising market. There are some challenges, but it has good long-term growth potential. I would sort of see it as sort of a mid-level challenge market. It's certainly more complicated than NAFTA countries or something like that, but it's not quite as challenging as trying to get into China or Cambodia. Okay, go ahead and move forward. So Vietnam, while it's still very much a developing country, it has a large young population and a rapidly growing GDP. So it has strong demographic and economic outlooks. You can continue. Next slide. In terms of demographics, the population is about 100 million people. It is quite young compared to most countries in Asia, whereas the other places I was in, China, South Korea, and then also with Japan, of course, you have a rapidly aging and likely shrinking population. Vietnam's population is still quite young. Around average age around 30 or so, and it's projected to grow or remain fairly stable in the coming decades, providing good long-term outcomes. Looking at the economic situation, it is growing rapidly. It did get hit by COVID and it is still suffering a little bit of a slump. It's very dependent on exports still, but consumer spending is growing. It's urbanizing. You're having a growing wealthier or middle class. GDP per capita is a little over 4,000. Of course, that varies widely by region. But at this point in the income growth, you're seeing people spending more money on diversifying incomes, adding in more animal protein and higher quality ingredients into their diet. And so we see strong potential for long-term growth. Okay, continue. Looking at the geography and layout of Vietnam, it's a very long and skinny country. If you're trying to drive from one end to the other, it takes several days of straight driving. It has it's quite varied. You have the delta down in the south with a heavy agricultural region, a lot of rice production. You have the highlands, the dark brown in the middle, which have more coffee and more semi-tropical or temperate production. And then you get up into the north where you have some more rice in the basin up there, Red River Basin, and then up into the mountains. Agriculture here is still very small size. It is a very productive, but it is not highly mechanized, and it's small plots. Okay, continue. Okay, yeah, I guess it's coming in. Yeah, here you can see the production by region. Rice down into the south and some in the Red River. More temperate dairy production, coffee, fruit in the highlands, and then tropical products in the coastal areas. Okay. In terms of transportation infrastructure and getting your products in, as it's a long and country with a large coastline, the primary transport both within Vietnam and from outside is by boat. Air is the next, so if you have more perishable products such as cherries, blueberries, or other or some high value seafood or high-end meat products, that will likely come in an air freight. Cold chain is still a challenge. Internally, it's developing, but it's not especially developed yet. Continue. Being so spread out, it's important to view Vietnam as a collection of regional markets. Often you will have importers focusing on specific regions. The biggest one is the ports collected around Ho Chi Minh City or Saigon down in the south. Second one is the Haiphong, which serves the Hanoi, the capital, and that region around there. And then next would be the Da Nang port, which is a key center for central Vietnam. But it's dominated by trade into Saigon. So continue. In terms of imports for Vietnam, it's fairly varied. They bring in quite a bit of corn and soy for their growing animal industry. There's definitely demand for a range of consumer-oriented products. We also see strong interest in industrial inputs such as cotton and forest products. Cotton is the United States' single largest export to Vietnam. And forest products, including hardwoods, are in high demand in their furniture and flooring industries. Okay, continue. In terms of trade trends, since Vietnam entered the WTO, we have seen strong growth. However, we have seen some headwinds in recent years. Trade peaked in 2018. And in December 2018, the Trans-Pacific Partnership, or I guess now it's the CPTPP, came into effect, which includes Vietnam as well as other major trading partners such as Australia, Canada, and I believe Chile. So that creates significant competition for us, especially since Canada ships a number of similar products to the United States, as does Australia, and then Australia has advantages in terms of shipping times. Continue. In terms of market share, we have a significant market share at about 13%. That has been slipping, unfortunately. Brazil has picked up. A lot of that is in the bulk commodities as well as beef, if I remember right. Australia has really grown rapidly with the trade advantage and distance, so they're very strong in the market. Canada's picking up, but has not moved up as fast. Cambodia is likely underrepresented because there's a lot of gray trade. However, we don't really compete with Cambodia in terms of the sort of products that are traded, so that's not a significant factor. Continue. In terms of the breakdown in terms of products, bulk is still the largest portion. A lot of that is items going into the feed complex. Consumer-oriented products is where there's long-term overall growth in the Vietnam market. However, that's where we face the largest tariff barriers. Intermediate has continued on okay. Here are some of the FTAs that Vietnam has. The most relevant for us is the TPP. However, they also recently signed a FTA with the European Union in 2020. Tariff reductions are phasing in on that. That's a particular challenge on a number of items such as dairy, cheese, and to some extent meat products. But the TPP and EU FTAs provide a significant challenge. Continue. So here are a few of the tariffs. I guess the key point is it's important to know what your tariff rate is for the specific product you're sending and what the tariff rate is for your main competitors. However, I would note that products coming in for processing and re-export are not hit by those tariffs, so they're exempt. So that is important for tree nuts, for example, as we send a lot of tree nuts into Vietnam for further processing, which are then re-exported to regional markets. But as you can see, it's in the meat, dairy, it's significant challenges. Wine is also unfortunately a challenge. We face 50% tariffs on that wine. TPP countries are currently at around 22%, if I remember correctly, but it is going down. And EU, I believe, will phase out to zero over the next 3-4 years. Continue. So a few marquee market developments. Currently, we're dealing with some challenges on meat inspections. Meat prices have been down here in Vietnam recently, and so authorities have been trying to manage or limit meat imports. They put in some new zero tolerance testing requirements for salmonella and E. coli, which have disrupted a number of shipments. They've also started to slow walk facility registration for meat facilities. We're engaging with USTR and USDA Washington and other like-minded countries to try to push Vietnam to adopt science-based and market-friendly policies. On a brighter note, we recently gained, sorry, go back. I'll try to speed up, but go back one. We just gained access for stone fruit, which is exciting. We're now working on plums next. So that's good news. Biotech applications have generally proceeded reasonably well. There's some hiccups and slowdowns, but overall we're doing okay there. Okay, continue. Some key market issue trends. You can keep on clicking and making it all come up. There is increased interest in sustainability, organics, healthy food, and quality. as well as food safety is a key selling point. Just be aware that the portion of the population that can afford to pay a premium for these types of products is still low. It's growing, but it's still small. So it's more of a niche market. However, awareness and focus on food safety is very high. Continue. Okay. Another trend, quickly touching on, is e-commerce. That is growing. It's not as advanced as it is in a number of other markets, such as Korea, Taiwan, China, but it is growing rapidly. It got a boost during COVID, and it's expanding, so that's something to keep an eye on as you're developing your strategies. Continue. One key communication tool and also for advertising here is social media. The largest platform is Facebook and TikTok. Zalo is a local messaging platform, sort of like WhatsApp. It's less relevant for marketing purposes. But as you're developing promotional strategies, Facebook, TikTok, and to a lesser extent, Instagram are important avenues for your promoting your products. And FAS here in Vietnam does have a campaign on social media that we're happy to work with you on called United Tastes. And so if you want to more information on that or to see what we can do on that, then let us know. Okay, continue. So in wrapping up, there's a number of key advantages here. We have good long-term trends in terms of growing population, strong GDP growth, increasing urban middle class. We have very good image of U.S. products. People care a lot about food safety and view U.S. products as safe and reliable. And they are dependent on a number of imported agricultural products that the U.S. supplies. We generally don't have a lot of direct competition outside of some animal products with the Vietnam agriculture, as we have very different climates. So that's good opportunities. Challenges, long shipping costs, tariffs, as I mentioned, and some regulatory challenges. Okay. And continue. So going through, we have a lot of different cooperators here active. WUSADA is active here, as are many other organizations. So please work with them. Also work with us directly, and we're happy to support your interest in the market. Okay. So here's some contact information. If you don't have time to write it down, I'm sure WUSADA can share it around after the presentation. But you're always welcome to reach out to us. As I noted, I cover our office here in Ho Chi Minh City. We cover a number of shipping issues as well as a lot of marketing. Our Hanoi office has the lead on the regulatory trade negotiations, and then they do some marketing as well in the north as well. But you can reach out to any of us and we'll get you taken care of. APHIS also has officers here in the region. So with that, I will conclude. Hopefully that was approximately 10 minutes, and I'm happy to take questions later on in the program.
Thank you, Andrew. That was good. Sounds like you have a hands full with all the terrorists going on. Thank you for all the hard work in getting the new access as well. So we have actually, I think in terms of, at least for the wine, right? I think for Thailand is much better news. So thank you, Andrew. We're going to hand it over now to Kelly. So let me set up the slides.
Okay. Andrew, that was a great presentation, and there's some things in there I need to add to my presentation. So anyway, we'll get to that later. But great to follow Andrew, great colleague and a real talent here in FAS, and a lot going on in Vietnam right now. So I'm really happy to talk to you about Thailand. Unless Kate wanted to do some kind of or you wanted to do something else. We're working to pull it up.
Oh
okay.
no, you're absolutely great. Yeah, to continue.
Okay. And we're going.
Okay, give me 1 second.
Well,
And we're
Wusada,
off.
and we're off. So Wusada, so welcome here. So many great opportunities for your products in Thailand. So if you want to go to the next slide, that's me. Don't worry about that. Okay, Thailand. Where is it? What are we doing? We're in Southeast Asia. We're next door to Andrew in Vietnam. It is the second largest economy in Southeast Asia after Indonesia. Fun facts. We're hoping to see the GDP grow about 2% this year. It's been kind of slower in growth since the pandemic, but Thailand made it through that okay. We did see the Thai baht recover in strength recently. It was kind of weak the first half of the year. Thailand's hoping to become a high-income country by 2037, and the government's working very hard to build up economic prosperity in a couple different areas. Agriculture is 10% of GDP in Thailand, and about 30 to 32% of the population are working in agriculture. Their crops are rice, cassava, rubber, corn, palm oil, and sugar. Those are some of the top crops. They are the #2 top exporter in the world for rice. They're also a tapioca exporter, rubber, frozen shrimp, canned tuna, and canned pineapple. So those are your fun facts. If we can go to the next slide, please. All right, it's an open to trade kind of business environment here. And you might have seen the Prime Minister on the cover of Time magazine, but they are looking for business, and they got 18 FTAs, but we don't have one. So big challenges out there for the United States. You can see the picture and the kind of the network that they have. Those are our competitors. More concerning is upcoming an FTA with the European Union, which would really take a slice out of our action here, but we'll see what we can do in the interim working on that. Let's go to the next slide. Their total imports, 22.5 billion. Keep that number in your mind. Later, you'll find out how much they export. We're got about 7% slice of that pie. Let's go to the next slide. That's interesting, but more interesting is what we can do here. So what are we selling here? We do a lot of commodities, but when you get down, we're about 9% of total ag imports. But when you get down to what we're doing in some of the, like dairy products have grown tremendously over the last 10 years. We see a lot of opportunity in consumer-oriented products. And why is this? This is a great destination for US products because we have a growing economy. It's a hub for tourism. We have rapidly changing lifestyles. A lot of Western eating habits are coming more and more into the culture here. And we have a growing middle class, growing middle income people who are looking to buy those aspirational premium products. But we got some challenges, we got some tariffs to deal with, and we'll get into that in just a sec. Let's talk about the good news first. Next slide. So what are your best prospects? We love to talk about top prospects. I mentioned the dairy products, cream cheese, we've done a lot of work to get. Wisconsin was not here a year and a half ago. You can find Wisconsin cheese in the grocery store, so California, Wisconsin mostly. We do well on fresh fruits, dried fruits, and nuts. A lot of those are reprocessed into other products. Cherries are thebomb.com in Thailand, and people spend a lot. The grocery chains get a lot of income from those cherry sales. Breakfast cereals, snack foods, frozen ready-to-eat foods do well here. Canned foods. Frozen seafood, the number of Japanese restaurants over the last 10 years has just exploded, like more than doubled. And that drives fish consumption, and that drives a lot of our fish imports into Thailand. So if we go to the next slide. Okay, but what are the challenges? What's the opportunities? I mentioned, well, I didn't say increasing urbanization, so more and more people are moving into urban areas. Andrew picked up on it. Facebook is still king here. Facebook is a huge adoption. So Facebook might be dead in the United States, or it's what your grandparents are using, but here everyone, children to adults to the elderly, everyone uses Facebook. It's the Google of Thailand. So that's where you need to be positioned. We're seeing tourism recover here. We had 40 million tourists coming into Thailand before the pandemic in 2019. We're hoping to see 32 million this year. So still not quite at pre-pandemic levels, but on the way. Growth in food delivery. This country mastered food delivery during the pandemic. I'm sure other countries have similar stories, but the cloud kitchen model where they cook it all in one spot and then send it out for delivery is very effective. Pretty much anything can be delivered to your home, including any kind of food items, grocery items, prepared food. Health and wellness focus has been another trend since the pandemic, and kind of plant-based foods, healthy eating, things that are marketed as healthier because people realize they have to take care of their body to be ready for the next health crisis that they might have to deal with. So some of the challenges, you remember that FTA picture, right? Everybody, all the neighbors have FTAs with Thailand. So we have some strong competition, and it's those tariffs. So we face between 10 to 60% tariffs across most of the major products we want to sell here. And we do have a few market access issues we'll talk about. Can we go to the next slide? Oh, yeah, the retail food landscape. We'll talk about that. It's a $67 billion food retail industry. So I mentioned the 22 billion in imports, and they take what they've got and reprocess it and make it glorious. Thailand positions itself as the kitchen of the world. I like to say we want to supply the pantry of the kitchen of the world. So Wusada, you can do that with us. It's really been that growth in that retail industry has been driven by that increasing disposable income from that middle income population. And there have been some government stimulus measures to encourage shopping and travel. But again, that trend towards urbanization drives a lot of this. We don't even have wet markets mentioned here. There's plenty of those, but we've got all the formats, the supermarkets, those 4 or 5 supermarkets are very high-end supermarkets. But we've got the hypermarket, the macro and the go wholesale. Those are kind of your Costco models. The Big C's and the Lotuses are like a Walmart. So that's kind of what you can expect there. They're selling our products. The convenience stores, I can't walk 10 feet without running into a 7-Eleven here. And if I don't have a 7-Eleven, there's Lawson's and Family Mart too. They are selling a lot of food products. It's not just, well, it's a lot of food. It's a lot of candy, let's be honest, processed products. So, and then organics, still coming up, still growing sector. I don't see these on every corner yet, but definitely an area to look at. A lot of locally produced products seem to go to that. So we'll talk in the next slide. All right, all the regulations. Well, I don't want to bore anyone here, but you need to read our FAIRS report if you're serious about this market, because there's a lot of complexity. We'll talk about the tariffs a little bit more, but we do have some barriers to entry. We have no pork or chicken access here. We have some real challenges for getting new processed meat products into this market. And that's something we're working on. We're working on, APHIS actually is working more on Eastern apples from the eastern part of the United States getting access, but that's not your problem. The West has apple access. So there's a number of sorghum, things like that. But those are all interesting projects to work on, but it's slow going here with getting better access. But I'd say the real issue is tariffs. So let's go to the next slide. So it's a terrifying list of tariffs for some people. It's terrifying perhaps for some. But in the good news world, wine has gone, we need to update our slide. It's now a big old 0% tariff because they don't produce wine here really. Why not? But it only took 12 years to get that tariff down. But really 10 to 60% tariffs on a lot of the products we want to sell here. And it's really, I think it turns off our exporters, but frankly, we are selling premium products. We are a premium market segment. We're aspirational. We're an exciting product that people want to buy. So how do we get that in front of people? Let's go to the next slide. All right, it's a busy year. We're working with Andrew on a trade mission. We're going to join his trade mission in their agricultural trade mission in Vietnam. But why stop with one? Let's do 2. Down in February, we're going to have an agricultural trade mission to Thailand. So maybe you want to jump on that crazy train and meet us in Bangkok, and we will introduce you to all our best importers. We have a number of in-store promotions, the gourmet market and the American wine promotion with Tops. We've got some food service related ones on beef and American seafood. So very excited about getting those in front of the buyers. And we've got the California Wine Institute, because of that zero tariff, wine is back. Well, they were never gone, but here they are doing a 20 vintner tour, 20 wine producer vintner tour. That's coming up in October, as well as What's Up Bangkok, and that is a consumer-facing 3-day food festival, American culture festival, with the city of Bangkok, with the governor. So basically the ambassador and the governor are like co-host. It's a bromance nobody can deny, and they are going to help promote our food products in that event. And before I miss anything, we've got 2 more endorsed trade shows before I change post here. So we've got Viv Asia, that's an animal feed and animal ingredient, animal feed additives show mainly for us. And we have Tyfex and Nuga, first time being an endorsed USDA show. Wasada's been our partner when it wasn't endorsed. So I'm looking forward to Wasada having your own booth and space to show off all your products. So we can go to the next slide. Okay, Myanmar. Lest anyone forget, we cover Myanmar and Laos too. So Myanmar is a great market. Was kind of that last Asian tiger, and now we have some real challenges in this market. There's a lot of civil political unrest, essentially a civil war. So they've seen really low GDP growth, but agriculture is a big part of the GDP there. If we can go to the next slide. Most of our trade going into Myanmar is commodities, right? But I don't know if Pan's on the call, but our marketing specialist, Pan, is really amazing. And she finds all the partners to work with to get what we are exporting there, like wine, frozen potatoes, just some examples, in front of the public, in front of buyers, and she's got a great network. So if you are interested in doing trade in Myanmar, please speak with us. There's definitely interest in wine in that market. So another aspect you might want to look at. We can go to the next slide. Yeah, so the market opportunities, there's just really reduced capacity for producing some of these domestic products. So they're looking for imports. But there is a very unstable political and economic situation. The inflation gets wild, and the unstable electricity supply. So I'd be thinking dry goods or things that can sit on a shelf. But they have some serious challenges there. But if you want to see the kind of things that we're trying to market there, please follow and like Shaloot USA, SHALOOT USA on Facebook, and you can see some of the work Pan's doing, working with chefs to promote our foods. And then I also want you to follow, while you're in Facebook, Tasty USA. That's our Thailand Facebook page. I think you'll find it very interesting, and you could even see me on Mother's Day with my daughter cooking sole. I think it was sole. So all that to say, next slide. I think we got it. I hope it was in 10 minutes. Over to you, Thomas.
Thank you so much, Kelly. That was fast. And I wanted to say that you know, both presentations were very good, and we will be able to try to get the presentation to all the audience here, participants. So Kelly is given us okay. I'm going to clear it with Andrew and team later on, whether they can share the presentation as well to you, so you can have a copy of it, and all the context will be there as well. So any question about it, you can ask now and can also ask later on as well. So without much further ado, we have actually we're going to jump straight into our panel now. Kate, is it okay we go into the panel now?
Absolutely.
Okay, so we have actually Kun Sam from Gourmet One. Kun Sam, if you can turn on your camera. And we also have Miss Tu from NTP over in Vietnam. They are our 2 panelists. Yes, I can see you. Thank you. Miss Tu, you can turn on your volume as well, so people can hear you. So your mic. And then Sam, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. Oh, great. Thank you. I couldn't see you. Right. Yeah, if you can turn your camera. So we have a good 4 persons here who knows the market very well. And if you have no questions, you know, any question you have in mind, right, either you type it in, or you can just type into the chat, and I can articulate, make it easier. And maybe I can just start off as well with some questions here. So I just wanted to maybe just start off with Ms. Tu, you can just share a little bit about your company, and then I'll ask Sam as well, Kun Sam, to share a little bit of his company. Ms. Tu, you want to share a little bit about NTP?
Okay, good morning, everyone. My name is Tu, and I'm from NTP Trading Services Company. Very nice to meet all of you here. I meet again many people here. Kun Sam, hello.
Hello.
Yes, nice to meet you again. How are you?
Mm.
And
Good.
yes, for a little bit about my company, we are specialized in import organic and premium products from many countries, including US. And our company is 10 years old until now. And we imported some products from US, such as dry fruit, biscuit, candy, spice, snacks, fruit juice, and organic skincare products. We distribute to some supermarket and premium stores. Also, we supply to some subsidiary channels and online channels also. And as Mr. Andrew have a presentation.
We lost you, Ms. Tu. You went to mute. Ms. Tu, you're on mute. Ms. Tu, you're on mute. Okay.
Ms. Tu, are you all done speaking?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm speaking.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah, we went on.
you were on
Okay.
mute. You were
Okay.
accidentally muted. So if you have more to say, please do say.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
I have one question for you, Ms. Tu.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
you import so many products. Can you tell us one successful product? You know, any one or two successful product that you have imported from US?
Yes. We imported we can sell well dry fruit and cakes and candy. Yeah.
Cakes and candies. Okay,
Yes.
great.
Yes,
Okay.
and candies, because in Vietnam we have a Lunar New Year and some festive season. So biscuits and candy or chocolate, we can sell well.
Okay, are these more like the ingredients that you're talking about as the ingredient used for baking, for cooking?
Or for eating.
Oh, for snacking. Okay, for
baking.
snacking.
Yeah, it's ready to eat biscuit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Then thank you, Ms. Tu. I also have Mr. Sam, Kun Sam over from Gourmet One. Kun Sam, we can just share a little bit about Gourmet One, and then maybe you also can share about one product that you are doing very well for us from US.
Hi, everybody. My name's Sam, and I from Gourmet One Group. Okay, so we are a food importer. Okay, and we do contribution and we do the supply to all food service and also retail. Okay, so we actually start in 2007, and then now we have diversify our business into many channels. So we have premium, which is we supply to all these premium food service, and we also have commodity, which is we set up after the COVID, that we supply to all the retails, and then we also have the pastry section, and now we have the fruit also. Import all the fresh fruit from everywhere around the world. So we kind of cover a lot of areas, pretty much in everything now. And yeah, we start in 2007, 5 staff, and now we end up having 204 staff, and very successful in pretty much of everything, like food service. We cover premium outlet, Michelin star hotel, 5-star, 4-5-star hotel, restaurant, and yeah, pretty much. And now we start working on the retail section, and one items that we are very successful in Thailand is beef. Okay, we are a beef company. Last year, we beef businesses contribute us about 60% of our income. So all the beef is import from everywhere. Most of them come from Australia and from New Zealand and of course from USA. From USA, we represent also agent for CAB as well. So we are pretty much selling, but we are selling like the top range of the beef, not commodity yet, just yet. That is, we have been doing that for 16, 17 years, and we always have the demand for the premium beef from US and still on demand. And I think we represent well for your country. Yes.
Cool. Thank you so much, Kunbi.
Hello.
Kun Sam. Thank you very much
Yes.
for sharing on that. And I remember Kun Sam also. Sam went to Wisconsin, and I think he had for a cheese mission last year itself, correct?
Yeah.
So
yes. That's along the line. That is on the pipe. You know, we are trying to work on every possible thing to bring to Thailand, and you just have to step by step, because the cheese in Thailand it start coming very strong. I mean, like we do a lot of cheese from Europe, of course. You know, most of our perishable items come from Europe, and from US. The cheese is in the pipe.
Okay, thank you so much. So I wanted to just maybe change tack a little bit. There was one question that came up. He asked from Mr. Barma about how's the dessert industry actually in terms of ingredients and preparation at home. That's why the question I asked earlier on, Ms. Tu, about is all those chocolate, everything, is it more of for eating, or is it for ingredient? And she shared it's actually for eating. But I want to see, is there a market for ingredients for the desserts in these two markets itself? Anyone can share. Maybe Kun Sam, can you share a little bit? What's your view? Is there a good market for ingredients for desserts in Thailand?
Yes. I just mentioned earlier on that we actually just opened our pastry section. Before this section actually including in gourmet one. Now we separate them out, so we want to expand and focus on the dessert. We found this decide to do this after COVID, because during those COVID time, people are asking all the ingredients that they cannot find in supermarket. Of course, no one can supply this during those time. But for us, in the past, we only supply to hotel and restaurant, and some go to the factories. So, and then we have very limited, because like we cannot cover everything. So now we set up the whole company, have 15 staff taking care of pastry section, and that's why I think it's for us still the opportunity to do the importation from all around the world, including your country. Yes, and people in Thailand, and you all in Thailand before, and you see that you go to supermarket everywhere. Thai people love sweet. I think Kelly is you love those too. Yeah, it's everywhere. Even our company actually opened up a shop with the using like the butter from France. Yeah, and I think Thomas has been tried that before. Yeah, that is something that yeah.
It's very good. It's quite high. I mean, it's
yeah, it is a good opportunity. Yeah. Yes, we have a lot of opportunity for those in food ingredients. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks for that. And I wanted to just change a little bit and maybe ask some questions with the FAS officers. I want to ask maybe Andrew yourself. What's one of the pitfalls that the exporters right here should avoid when doing business in Vietnam?
Okay. So, I mean, there's a bunch of ones. But first of all, know the relevant tariffs and your price point. So you need to do just basic market research to understand where you fit inside the market. And then the basic point for across East Asia and many markets is you need to go in and work on developing long-term relationships. When an importer sets up and works to import a new product, they're taking on expenses and risks themselves, and they're not interested in doing that if it's just going to be a one-off or sending something there briefly. And so one of the top complaints we get is maybe a importer will start bringing something in with a new partner, and then they'll sort of drop off and won't maintain that connection and supply and relationship. So look to building long-term supply and relationships, and then make sure you do your due diligence on market research to understand how you fit into the market.
Long-term relationship. Okay, I think that's a good point there, which I think is very good lead into the next part. I wanted to ask maybe to maybe to Miss Tu, was that what's the one thing you love about working with US importers? I mean, just one thing.
Can more than one thing?
One thing
Yeah.
for Miss Tu. You can do two.
Honestly, yes. America is one. I think that's one of the country that I love working in, and American partners reply email quite quickly compared with the other country, and they work professional. They and I think that one thing I refer to working with US than the other country is I received the support from many association and department of trade, investment, and development from US. So they work quite efficiently. They do business matchings very well. So I receive support from many associations. So that is one thing that I like working with US most. And maybe the second is that as I told with you that the partners work very professional, and they are enthusiastic to do with the importer like me. So yes, I think that's yes, yeah. That's the factors that I like the import and working with US partners.
I got a good point, which is that quick response through email as well. I think that's a good one. You know what? Maybe I can also ask Kun Sam as well. What's the thing you love about working with US importers?
Because we as I said, we start with the we're working with the product which is we classify as a premium. So most of we have to, for us in terms of business wise, we are looking for the premium product, and US is one of the premium country who can produce. And as I said, beef is my business. So the beef from US is something we classify as one of the premium. So and people never have enough to try the product from your side. And as I said, the result from the 16, 17 years, and we are keep this business in. Yes, if it's not bigger than Australia, but because of your tariff and all that. So, but I think hopefully soon that once this thing can be getting better,
Resolve.
I think, solve. And then I think US beef gonna explode in Thailand, and I'm ready for that. So that's why I like, people, they always asking, even during those times that it's short supply and or those kind of problem, people still waiting for it. That, and I know people are still waiting for this kind of product to come through. That's why I like to work with the demand of people. Like when people asking, because we are on demand service. We're looking for something, good quality and all this. Yeah. That's why US is one of our target to bring all those quality products come to Thailand. Yeah.
Thank you, Kun Sam. I think that's a good point. Kun Sam does a lot of food service, so I think that's a large part of his business. And now he's going to also in retail as well, which actually comes to a good point. I mean, you talk about things like, good quality premium product, which actually echoes what Kelly was saying earlier on about, US, we are doing actually a more premium product. Maybe Kelly, you can share with us, what's one observation you've seen, of a successful exporter from the US, what are they doing that they can be successful in your market in Thailand itself?
Well, I think we kind of got into it, and Kun Sam's right. Those, marketing those premium products, that's our market segment, frankly. We're not selling cheap things here. We're selling expensive. We're selling cherries that are packed in a box and it looks like a box of chocolates. We're selling wine, better quality wines. And I think I mentioned that the reduction in the wine tariff, that's going to create a really big opportunity for US wine products. And, just speaking of California wines, I was in an opening for a Lawry's Steakhouse. I don't know if anyone's familiar with Lawry's Steakhouse. They were they said, which California wine would you like? And I said, I would like a California wine, and they only had Opus 1. Like, what planet am I on? Where are we? Is this really a Lawry's Steakhouse? Anyway, very traditional steakhouse if you're not familiar, but also like the hot new thing in Bangkok. So what's old is new again, and it's been, represented. But these high quality opportunities, this city has so many great spaces to present these things. And I wanted just to say that we think wine prices could drop by 35 to 40% with this reduction in the tariff. We're really hoping to see a more diverse selection of US wine here. Wine is about 7 to 9% of alcoholic beverage consumption in Thailand. Beer is the vast majority of alcoholic beverages being consumed here, but they still face high tariffs, as do distilled spirits. But there's still demand for this stuff. It's still on the market. It's the premium segment is where you want to position yourself, unless you're a commodity seller, and that's something else. So, thanks.
Thanks, Kelly. We need to have, we need to do dinner with you where they pour you Opus once. Because when we want to have wine, right, they give us barefoot, something different.
If someone else is buying, Thomas.
Exactly. Thank you so much. And I wanted to ask as well, since we are on this part, right, on this whole thing about, import success and also the tariffs dropping as well, I thought maybe a good questions would be, I did see a new question from here. One of my fun questions I always like to ask is that, we have all this potential. What are the new things that you see? I saw your list of potential, all those products that we can focus on, but is there anything in particular that jumps out at you for either Kelly or for Andrew as well, that you think that, exporters should really be focusing on?
Well, I think Kun Sam mentioned the cheese from Wisconsin, and that's a really good story for me because the people that went to Wisconsin learned about this huge cheese culture and this high level of cheese making, and they were really excited about that. And storytelling is a big part of marketing. We all know that. But when you have something special, Wisconsin got really excited, not just about cheese, they're a big ginseng producer, right? So now they're working on getting ginseng into this market. And I think getting people to know these markets from the United States, we're far away. We're a 12-hour time difference. You don't speak the language here, most likely. So I think if you would spend the time to discover these markets, you're going to find a niche for your high-end product. But cheese has done really well, and I've been really impressed at the acceptance of this Wisconsin cheese in the higher end grocery stores. I think that's been really impressive. As in terms of a newer product, Wisconsin is new. California cheese was already here, but they've been working for 10 years to market, and they've done exceptionally well. Cheese is not a traditional part of the Thai diet, I should say that. So, but it is now. Anyway, just kidding.
And Opus 1. Okay.
Opus 1. Everyone's drinking that here. Just kidding. No.
Well, yeah, we have about 1 minute left here. So are there any last questions that anyone, the audience has that they are dying to ask, or are we just about ready to wrap up?
Any questions, anyone? I just wanted to ask, maybe just one other thing was that, maybe from Kun Sam, can you give some advice for exporters trying to export over to our market here in Southeast Asia? Any advice in terms of what they should do, what they should not do?
Okay, I mean, let's say back to cheese in Wisconsin, usually it always have because Wisconsin, it's right in the middle of US, and then from US, middle of US, by the time go to Thailand, maybe 2 hops, maybe 3 hops. Okay, the distance, the tax, that's why I think why the LA, the California cheese it's coming and it stay there for some time because of that. I think the logistically, Wisconsin have to focus on that. I really like to bring those cheese into the premium section here because it's a fantastic cheese. So that's something that you have to we have to work together how to get those cheese in here and less cost, because otherwise I would go to California cheese, which is slightly cheaper, but in terms of the end user, they're looking for something similar but more expensive. Why not? Why they have to spend that money on? Yes.
Okay,
that's
a good point.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's a good point. How about you, Ms. Tu? Anything to share about?
Actually, that we met the same problem with the in the Thai market, that the logistic and the price and import tax tariff are the three. I think that the 3 challenges until now, and we really waiting that Vietnam and US sign FTA agreement that the tax tariff is 0. But now, for example, when we import dry fruit, the tax is amount is around 30%. So it's quite high. But yes, and logistic, yes. When we import products from New York to Vietnam, it took nearly 2 months. So it's quite long.
Okay.
And sometimes in the big sale season, we must wait, and our customer always complain that why they waiting for the product so long. So yeah, and I think at the price of the product should be more competitive. Yes, but I know that the quality is good. Yes, but now, as you know, that the economic in Vietnam is messed up problem is going down a little bit. I don't know how about in Thai market until now, if recover.
Same.
Yes. Now it's because we are not only affected by COVID-19, but also some economic. I'm sorry, from politics.
Right.
Yeah.
Political fluctuations. So we met some problem. So that affect to economic and the income of Vietnamese. So yeah, so the price is very important. I know the quality is good, but come back to the price. That is also a problem. Yeah. So I think that 3 factors, 3 challenges until now. Is that
I agree.
Yeah. I hope that everything is going up, and we Vietnam and US we develop develop in import consumer goods in future. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I mean, I want to let audience remember, Thailand is 70 million people, and Vietnam is 100 million people, and these are growing young population, loss of income. The US products, by coming over here itself, due to logistics, all this, we are actually a bit more premium because the cost of logistics and coming in. So you need to think very premium, and also think of how to get it over to the market fast and quick as well. I think in terms of tariffs, our officers in the various office in Thailand, Kelly, and also in Andrew in Ho Chi Minh. They're all working on it to help us to reduce it. So these are some of the things that we can look forward to in the coming year. I think now is about time to end. So we went over 5 minutes, and I want to leave it to Kate to close us up.
Thank you. Yeah, I just want to give a shout out. Thank you for the panel for joining us. It was really good information. And I hope that all of our companies gained something from this experience. It looks like we'll be sending out the PDF of the slides and then also the FAIRS report to all of the attendees. So yeah, thank you all for joining us. And I hope everyone has a lovely night.
Thank you. Thank you, Kate. Thank you, everybody.
Thank
Nice
you.
to meet you all.
Everyone
Thank
take
you
care.
all.